In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a fake drone zoom out effect using Generative Expand with Photoshop and Adobe Premiere Pro. So to begin, I've just got this clip on my timeline, and this is obviously going to need a little bit of restrictions. We have a drone kind of footage. There's not too much crazy lighting change happening in this first 5 seconds, and there's not too much camera movement at all. None is better. And so this is going to help us make this illusion without needing to do too much crazy work. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a frame from basically where I want the clip to begin. So to do this, I can just click this export frame button or Shift and E, and I can actually send that right to wherever I want. In this case, I'll send it to my desktop. It'll also import it into this project, but I'll press OK. And since it imported it into this project, I can right click and open that in Photoshop. So edit in Adobe Photoshop, or you could just open Photoshop separately, drag the JPEG in, whatever you want to do. Now in Photoshop, we're going to use the new Generative Expand feature just by grabbing the crop tool and making sure the fill mode is set to Generative Expand. I'll zoom out a little bit on my working area. I'm just pinching in on my laptop trackpad, but you can also use Command and the minus or plus key to quickly jump or set it from this little area in the bottom left. But once I'm ready, I can just click and drag out, and I'll also hold Option to make sure I'm dragging out from the middle. So in this case, I'll basically just expand out until our middle frame fills this new middle box. I guess this makes it 3 times squared bigger. When I press enter and just generate, Adobe Generative AI will automatically take a look at what's in the photo and try to expand out based on that. Now in this properties panel, if you scroll down a little bit, you don't have to just go with the first variation that it gives you. You can click and see if there's other variations that you like. Maybe some look more realistic. This one added a road and some kind of body of water. In this case, I'll go with the first one. That's fine with me, but you can keep generating to create more variations and find one that you like. And also, if you want to keep adding on to this, you can highlight certain areas, type in a prompt like add a pumpkin patch or something, I don't know. So you can see all the variations that have been generated and pick the one that you want. So I can just save this on my desktop somewhere. And then if I open Premiere back up, I just want to import whatever we just made back into this project. So I just dragged it into my timeline, or you can drag it into your project media bin or right click and import a file from your desktop. Now, a little trick to keep in mind so that we preserve quality when we zoom out is let's drag our PSD or image that we just made on our document, and this image should be a lot bigger than our frame since it's 3 times bigger. So if I zoom out here, you'll see I can keep zooming out and we have more there until I hit 33%. So in fact, I'm actually just going to leave it at 100% and I'll put it underneath my video clip. This solves the issue of centering our frame, and it also solves the issue of preserving the quality when we scale. Now there's a little bit of trickiness here with how to go about zooming out. I initially wanted to nest them together, but then the edge cuts off. And if we do it the other way, where we shrink down this video to fit inside the other one, then nest them together, it does work, but you probably will lose some quality scaling back up from the nested image. So I'm going to just add the same keyframes, copy and paste it on both of these clips, and I'll show you how. So let's begin by setting this at 33 on the scale, 33.333, just because I made mine 3 times bigger, but you can adjust for your sizes. And now I'll basically just apply the same keyframes on both clips so that we get a uniform scaling. So in fact, this is where I want to end. So I'll add a keyframe, and then I will actually make these hold keyframes. So right click hold, that way we don't get gradual motion. And then I can just do like a few steps in between. So maybe we'll do like 50 or 66, I guess. And then the original 100. Now, all I will do once I'm happy with the spacing of this is copy these keyframes, go to my PSD or JPEG image and paste those keyframes, and we'll get the same exact position and keyframes. Now the tedious part, if I wanted to adjust this, I got to go in there and do it again. So probably make sure you have the keyframes where you want before you commit to them. And I'll copy, paste. I'm starting from the first frame, so that makes it easy for me. So we have a zoom out and a zoom out, and this way we preserved quality. And then if I want, I can probably nest these together. If I wanted to add some final touches without copy and pasting keyframes, such as, let's say, like a gradual zoom out alongside of this. Let's begin at 110 and end at 105. And also maybe a gradual rotation. So let's begin at 0, maybe go to -3 degrees. Just want to make sure the scale doesn't give you any black bars there, so adjust that accordingly. And like I said, if you add perhaps a crop effect on this and just crop in a few % on each side with a little bit of edge feathering, that can also help soften up some of this harsh edge where you can sort of tell the lighting is changing. So my name is Justin Odisho. Like and subscribe if you want to check out more on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.